This podcast was produced by OAR FM Dunedin with support from New Zealand On the Air.
Well, hello there, lovely humans. Welcome and thanks for tuning in to the Sleep Lab Stories. I'm Liesl Mitchell, a person with narcolepsy and a fascination with sleep. We all do it, but do we talk about it? Stay tuned as we chat to anyone and everyone about their weird, wonderful, and just plain normal sleep stories. Well, hello there and welcome to the Sleep Lab Stories. Yay! It's really exciting to be here with you all and thank you for joining us. So before I get to the good stuff and introduce my delightful guest, a little context for everyone. The idea behind this show is to bring sleep out of the dark, so to speak, and prompt people to tell some of their own stories about sleep. My own interest in sleep started somewhat accidentally when I was 15 and I was diagnosed with a sleep condition called narcolepsy. I now run the Sleep Lab, which is a sleep coaching and education service. So whether you're tuning in because you're curious, enjoy hearing about the human experience, or sleep has been on your mind recently, it's great to have you here. So, now that you have the context, let's dive into the important stuff. And I feel very lucky to be able to introduce my extremely special guest today. Sarah and I have known each other all my life. She was the first person to teach me to blow the lights out for bed. What was that? 1, 2, 3. An expert lullaby singer. And the patience to read the same favourite bedtime story over and over again. She is also an accomplished musician, academic, and theologian. Sarah has travelled the world, made incredible connections with people wherever she's lived, and she is one of the most hospitable people I know. So, in case you haven't already guessed, and for the sake of transparency, she is also my mother. Welcome, Sarah.
Well, thank you, Liesl. Kia ora.
Kia ora.
It's great to be here and participate in this show with you.
Yay! Yeah. Well, it's lovely to have you here today, and thank you for saying yes. I really appreciate that. On that note, why did you say yes?
Because my daughter,
yes,
taught me to say yes whenever anyone gave an invitation to do something, to take a risk, and to say yes before you'd say, oh, no. Sometimes the yes was just a little on the side of being careful and cautious, and sometimes the yes is a very enthusiastic one. Today's was a little on the cautious side.
Right. Well, that's understandable. Yes. Well, go you for saying yes. Hopefully this will be a risk worth taking. I also just wanted to add, because funnily enough, although we have talked about my own sleep probably quite a bit over the years, I don't think I've ever sat down and talked with you about your sleep. This might be the first time. Do you think?
Yes, I would think so. I think your sleep has probably dominated conversation about sleep in our family because it's been quite significant and had its real challenges. But no, I don't think you've ever asked me about my sleep.
Well, hey, now's the time. Finally,
Right.
I've gotten around to asking you about your sleep. Do you think, was sleep a topic of conversation for your family growing up? Like just thinking of different generations and whether sleep was something that was talked about?
No, I don't think we talked about sleep. I was brought up to go to bed at a certain time and get up at a certain time, and was assumed I would be sleeping the whole time. And I probably treated you and your sister the same way and told you would go to bed at a certain time and you would at least stay in bed, if not sleep.
Oh, yes. Yes, I remember having a paper clock in our room beside the actual clock, and it had drawn on it like 7 o'clock or something like that. And you'd told us, I don't care what you're up to, you sleeping preferably, but you're not allowed out of bed until the clock on the wall matches the paper clock beside it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
probably really good for us learning to read the time as well, though. Well, thank you for that. Yeah. Now, since we couldn't fit you all who are listening in the studio with us, and you do only get to hear us, I need to let you know what happens next, because this is when it starts to get exciting. I will try and paint a bit of a word picture for you all here. I have put some cards on the table in front of me between Sarah and myself. And the idea here is that Sarah will take a card. This is very exciting. It sounds like a game. Hope you're all along for the ride. Read it out. Sarah will read out the card. This is big responsibility, Sarah. Hopefully you can read my writing. I was trying to be nice and neat with it, but we'll see what happens. So she'll read it out, and then if she wants to talk to the card, she will. We are in luck. And if not, she can either ask me to talk to the card if she'd like to ask me that question, although, as we've just established, I've already talked a lot about sleep to Sarah. But she doesn't have to answer a question or ask me a question. She can just take another card if she's not feeling like taking that particular card, and let the thoughts unfold. So, just hopefully that makes sense. Sarah, over to you.
Right.
Here we go.
Let me pick up the first card. I do not know what these cards are.
No. It's a surprise. That's right.
Your preference, communal sleeping or all alone, and why? Well, I've not had a lot of opportunity to be on my own in a bedroom because I was probably 2 or 3 when my younger sister was born, and we slept together in our bedroom all the way through our childhood.
So you always shared a bedroom,
Pretty
much.
We did not share a bed,
Right,
but we
yeah.
shared a bedroom. And when I left home, I was sharing a bedroom in a residential college, and then I went flatting and I was sharing a bedroom there. And it was only for the last 2 or 3 months of flatting that I required of my flatmates that I have a single bedroom, because I was getting married. And I figured that for the first time in my life I needed to have a room of my own. So, and of course once I got married I have shared a bed with my husband for more than 50 years.
Wow.
So communal sleeping I have also done on marae. But my preference, probably if I'm honest, nothing like a room of your own, a bed of your own.
It's true. And actually there's this funny, like, what is it, like a I don't know, a popular sort of term at the moment that I've come across that's called sleep divorce, that's all about people who are married or in relationships keeping the relationship alive and well by having a sleep divorce where they,
Yes.
and it's not uncommon for people not to
no.
sleep in the same room.
I know
But-
a lot of people who do that.
Yeah,
Yes.
but we don't talk about it very much, do we? And it's probably, there is still a bit of a social stigma around it. You don't talk about it, but yeah, I agree.
A good night's sleep, undisturbed, is
Yeah.
lovely. Yes.
Nothing like a bed to yourself. As lovely as the people are that are out there that we share our beds with, yes. Wow, interesting, Siri. Yeah. Well, shall I encourage you to take another card? You're doing very well. Love it.
What are your memories of sleep as a child? One of the things that I do remember quite clearly is that I used to have nightmares when I was a child, and I had a picture that my parents had given me of a ballet scene. It was of Swan Lake, and it sat on my dressing table. And when I used to have a nightmare, I would wake myself and look at the picture and put myself in that ballet scene and go back to sleep.
Wow. So there was something about that picture that was quite soothing.
Well, it was an alternative to the nightmare.
Right. Interesting you said you woke yourself up so you'd know you were having a nightmare?
Yes.
Right. And was that always effective?
Usually. Yes. Yeah.
Wow. And you remember it quite strongly,
yes.
obviously.
Yes,
Yeah.
I can still see the picture that sat on my tall boy, and I remember the tall boy, and yes.
Wow. And was it the same nightmare, or was it something
No.
different? It didn't matter.
Every different.
Yeah.
Every night would be, when I had a nightmare, would be different.
Yeah.
I don't know how often I had them, but I know I did have them sometimes. But there was no opportunity to get out of bed and go and say to the parents, I've had a nightmare and I want some care or love, because that wasn't what happened in our family. Yes.
Right. So it wasn't acceptable to get into bed with your parents if you were scared at night.
It wasn't acceptable to get out of bed and go out of your bedroom.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's interesting. They'd obviously relaxed their ideas by the time they had grandchildren then, because I remember getting into bed with them. But that's often the way, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's really interesting. And it's so cool that you had something that was like I want to say like a happy scene or something that you could sort of, or something quite calming that you could put yourself into.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. Well, Sarah, before we launch into another card, I'm really enjoying the cards, by the way.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah?
Yes.
That's cool.
I've coped so far with...
You've coped very well.
Yes.
You've been able to answer the questions nicely and everything. Well, that's good. That's good that that they're sort of sparking something for you. But I'm going to interrupt for just a moment, because we're lucky enough to have a wonderful sponsor that is sponsoring this show. And so let's hear from them.
Need a caffeine hit? Head to Grid Coffee Roasters, right in the heart of Mornington. Whether you're looking for a delicious flat white, refreshing peppermint tea, a last-minute gift, or some freshly roasted coffee beans, we have you covered. See you soon at 172 Eglinton Road. Follow us on Facebook at Grid Coffee Roasters.
Well, big thank you to The Grid for sponsoring this fabulous podcast. And back to Sarah and talking about various thoughts about sleep. And I guess before we take another card, because I'm curious to hear what's next on the cards, because neither of us know what's next in the cards. I do know what's on the cards, but I don't know what is next on the cards, because I did a little card shuffle before I came here. But I wanted to ask you a question. I wondered if you remember anything about my sleep from when I was a kid. Nothing too embarrassing. I don't know. What kind of sleeper was I when I was a kid?
Well, I remember when you were a year old and I was pregnant with your sister, and you decided at the same time to give up any kind of daytime naps.
And how old was I then?
A year.
Oh, gosh.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
So I used to put you in your cot with a pile of books and put my feet up, and you would throw the books out after you'd read each one, so that once the last book had been read, you would then demand to get up. So you didn't sleep in the daytime much at all. And once you were a year old, you didn't have daytime naps. But you went to bed early and you got up after 7 o'clock, like a good girl.
Once the little paper clock said I could get up. Oh, wow. Yeah, that must have been rough then. Yeah, but I've made up for it since then, haven't I, with my sleeping?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah. What a shame I didn't let you experience the joys of a decent nap during the day when I was a kid. Oh, well, back to the cards then, Sarah. Shall we pull another card? She's taking another card. It's a yellow card this time. They're different colours.
Oh.
What's that's an encouraging sound, Sarah.
Pets in the bed, your personal thoughts. No.
Okay. That's very strong. Any elaboration on that? Why no?
Well, I probably haven't had a pet that was allowed into the bedroom. In fact, when I was a child, the pets weren't allowed in the house. as I got older, at one stage, as you know, we had a dog, and
You mean the dog that we had when I was a kid?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, and I wouldn't have had her anywhere in a bed. No.
Should I tell everybody, the listeners at home, that my father may well have let that dog into my bed? Maybe when you weren't there, Sarah. Sometimes, the dog might have ended up on the bed. Yeah, okay. So that's just not been your experience.
No, and I can imagine it happening at times, and I can imagine getting used to it, but no, at this stage. Mm.
I think the only time I've ever thought, I'm not really a fan of pets in beds, and I just like being able to sleep. So I know that a pet would really disturb me. But the only reason I'd want one in bed with me is when it's cold. Like I think on a cold night, having a nice warm dog or a cat sort of curled up beside you must be quite delightful. But that would be the only reason I would enjoy that, and probably only for a very short period of time, and then I'd want to kick them out. So I wouldn't be, probably not the owner of a pet that would want to keep it in bed with me all night long. No. Okay, well that's very strong. Green card.
Green card.
Is it sort of
Yes.
minty green?
Phone scrolling or reading a book. Why? Well, I presume this is when you're in bed, phone scrolling or reading a book.
Yeah, probably in bed or maybe just before bed. Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's your preference?
I mean, all my life that I can remember, I have read for an hour after I go to bed.
Okay,
So,
in bed. And
in
that's
bed.
an hour, Sarah. Wow.
Yes. Well, sometimes I fall asleep before the hour is up, but I have quite a clear pattern of going to bed at a certain time and turning the light off at a certain time. And so when you say scrolling, well, quite often I read ebooks now on my phone. So it may be a book or it may be scrolling, but it's always reading.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
And if you fall asleep while you're still reading, what happens to the book or the scroll or the...
Oh, the phone or the book can fall on the floor. That usually wakes me enough to just turn everything off. And
Right,
yes,
yeah. Oh, wow. And that's been a pattern how long for?
Oh, I think probably started as soon as I could read.
Oh, wow.
Maybe it might have been not till I was 9, but certainly it happened before I was 10.
And does it help you get to sleep? Like,
Yeah, and it helps me have a definite opportunity to read. The only time I didn't do this was when I was studying in my midlife period, and I was working very hard, and I didn't read at night those days. I can remember quite clearly having 4 years probably of undergraduate work, and in that time it would only be in the summer holidays that I read. But that would be the only time, those 4 years would be the only time I didn't read at night.
and did you notice, was that just because you were absolutely exhausted and you just fall asleep?
Yes. And I'd been reading all day and writing papers and yes.
Didn't want any more words.
No more words.
Yeah, it's funny how that's not as relaxing. I know when I was doing a lot of study too, I couldn't read as much. Yeah,
No.
yeah. Well, I think quite a few people use having a book. Well, it relaxes, but it can also it can send you to sleep. I think reading, and
Yes.
I know. I talked to someone that said they can't read anything too exciting. It has to be something, a good story, but not sort of so exciting that your brain starts to sort of crank up and get,
Yeah, I do remember once when I was a child reading the story of Bluebeard at night.
Yes.
And that was not a useful experience.
Did you have to go into the ballet picture?
I certainly did. That was part of it.
Yeah, well, I used to read horrors like before I'd go to sleep.
Right.
Because I used to read a bit
You read a
before
lot
I'd
of
go to bed.
Stephen King.
Yeah, Stephen King,
Yes.
yeah. But I remember, like, it didn't worry me so much reading it, and I didn't tend to get nightmares, but I couldn't keep the book right beside my bed, like, after I'd been reading it. I had to hide the book from myself. So I'd usually, like, tuck the book under the bed so I couldn't see it. I don't know what I thought that was going to do. But, yeah, as long as I couldn't see the book, I was okay.
Yeah. Perhaps I ought to be clear that all that reading that I do at night is always fiction.
Right.
And that was why when I was studying, I was reading a lot of non-fiction. And so I've never taken a non-fiction book to bed.
That would be too sparky, wouldn't it? Like, would it get the brain sort of thinking?
Don't know, but it's just not been part of my pattern.
Yeah, well, I think a bedtime story, you know, I mean, that's
Yes.
what you used to read us bedtime stories. There's something quite nice about, I don't know, there's something quite soothing about a story before you go to bed. And I
Yes.
think actually my feeling about getting to sleep is that you almost take a pathway that's like a story pathway as opposed to a thinking pathway. And the non-fiction book is more like a thinking pathway.
Yes.
But you let your brain, I guess, if you relax enough, it starts to imagine, it starts to drift, it starts to go down story sort of alleyway.
Right.
And for me, that's what becomes sleep. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like a story is a really nice way to start leading yourself towards sleep.
Right.
Yeah, 'cause
Yes.
it's sort of, interesting. Well, we've probably got time for one more card, I
The
think.
pink one.
Shall we? The pink one.
Oh, when is your cut-off time for evening snacks?
Oh, evening snacks.
I think this is a question for you because I don't have evening snacks.
It's not a question for me, Sarah. Who says I have evening snacks?
Oh dear.
It's an assumption.
I rarely eat anything after dinner.
Okay. So what would be the last time you would eat in the evening?
Oh, before 7 o'clock.
Right.
Usually, yeah. But occasionally there might be an evening snack. But then I wouldn't have a cut-off time. It would just happen. Like if I've been out for a meal or something or been to a concert and come home and wanted to just slow down a bit, I might have a cup of tea with something to eat with it and then go straight to bed.
Right. So you might have a drink in the evening. That might be something you do after
Not
dinner.
now.
No?
I used to,
Yeah.
but not now. No.
So, yeah. Okay. Do you drink any water or anything like that?
Not after dinner. Before dinner, but not after.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting because I know that some things I've read about sort of giving your body a really long sort of fasting period. So from sort of about 7 o'clock, well, as long as you can really, but 7 o'clock and then trying to sort of delay your breakfast time gives your body a really good chance to kind of reset before the next day.
Right. Yes, I've heard of that.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't tend to have a snack in the evening, Sarah. But, I like to actually stop once I've had dinner, not eat anything else. Not that it really affects my sleep as such, but I think if I have eaten something, it has two effects usually. I either feel really hungry in the middle of the night, like I'll wake up in the middle of the night going,
Right.
I want more food, which is very strange. Or I feel full and then I don't feel
Right.
like I can sleep properly. Yeah, so I try not to eat too much or anything after anything. Anyway, well, I have loved the cards.
Yes, they're good. Yes,
Cool.
you must use them again.
I shall. I really like that. And I feel like I've learned something about you today. Not only that we've talked about sleep, of course, but I think I didn't know about the ballet, I don't think.
No, you probably wouldn't.
Yeah, and I really love that. I think that's a really cool image and maybe helpful for anyone listening as well, that it's always, I know nightmares are horrible, but having a sort of a tactic or some kind of way of helping yourself get out of them or a soothing thing. I used to think about birthday parties for some reason.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, just think birthday party. But Yeah, and I know actually I get hot and have nightmares, so I usually take a layer off as well, the bed. Yeah, take a blanket off the bed. That usually helps too.
Right.
But yeah, I didn't know about that, so thank you. So this brings us to almost the end of the show, and I've had a really lovely time.
So have I. It's
yay.
always nice talking with you.
Oh, it's lovely talking with you too. So thanks for saying yes and for being my guest. And I know I shouldn't have favourites, so I won't say anything like you've been the best guest in the world.
Absolutely not.
No, because that would also be setting the bar way too high for anyone else that comes on the show. But thank you for being willing to join me and sharing with us all today.
You're welcome.
Yay. Thanks, Siri. So that's it for this time from this place with the Sleep Lab. See you next time. Thanks for listening to The Sleep Lab Stories. Big shout out to Grid Roasters, generous sponsors of this podcast and makers of great coffee. To the awesome OAR FM, thank you for making it all happen. Like and follow The Sleep Lab Stories at oar.org.nz and at all your fave podcast platforms. You can find me and the latest sleep info at thesleeplab.nz. Take care, sleep well, and catch you next time.
This podcast was produced by OAR FM Dunedin with support from New Zealand On the Air.